what you just said. Oh, you said. I say veinte with a B.
It's spelled with a V, veinte, but I know Spanish pronunciation of like B's and V's is very similar. So it's veinte, veinte
Oh,
diez y uno,
one of us is right, one of us is wrong, or maybe both of us are right. Who the hell knows?
or diez y veinte uno. I said it backwards. I said 20, 10, 10 and 1. Hey guys, we're recording. We're just talking some shit. We just have fucking phenomenal interview with Chobi. And we didn't ask about his last name, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh yeah, we did fuck that up. Because we talked about how he's from Brazil, but has it. I don't remember what you said, but when I look at it, it almost looks like a German last name.
Yeah, and he gave us a curveball because he's actually from Mexico.
Yep, dad's from Brazil or is Brazilian, but yep,
Oh, I thought
yeah,
the
it was
mom was
cool.
Brazilian, but his dad was Mexican.
I could be 100% wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm 100% right. I'm pretty sure I'm not
It was
100%
it
sure.
was the beginning of the podcast, and I have ADD, and it's also almost my bedtime on a work night, so I can't remember.
Yeah,
I'll go back and watch. I think I could go back and watch that just as a an observer, because like there was so much that was said on a variety of topics. Um, it was just very interesting, a very fascinating man. Has a lot to say. Um, really cool guy. I enjoyed talking with him and look forward to hanging out with him. I guess virtually more in the future.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and listen to it because when you're in the moment, sometimes things might get lost, and you go back and watch it, and it's like even though I was there and I was present, it's like, oh man, I kind of missed that part, because sometimes your mind drifts off. Like maybe I'm talking to you and you're thinking about something else, and like I caught the gist of what Nate just said, so I can respond to it, but I didn't catch every single detail.
Yeah, and I was listening to a Ramdas video yesterday, and he kind of in a different way explained what you just talked about. He was quoting somebody. I want to say it was somebody in like Eastern mysticism, but he said a fish trap is meant for the fish. Once you have the fish, you no longer need the trap. The rabbit snare is for the snare or the rabbit. Once you have the rabbit, you no longer need the snare. And he said, words are for the meaning. Once you have the meaning, you no longer need the words.
Mm.
So we often, I think, the way our brains work is we're always searching for a meaning in either experience or in communication. And sometimes, like, we get the meaning from the communication, but we forget the small details, and it's nice to go back and like grab those small details.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100%. I can agree with that definitely. And I learned a lot just speaking to Chubby for those 45 minutes or whatever, but I'm going to go back and grab those small details.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, oh, and speaking of which, when I send you the link, I'm not sure if you'll see the timestamp, but there was no running timestamp on Zoom while we were recording. So it might be in the recording, like once you get the link, but like we're recording right now, there's no timestamp. So hey, if there's any Zoom people out there that knows the technology, send us a message on Instagram.
So there won't be any timestamp?
I'm not sure.
Alright, bet.
Yeah, I saw there was a button inside the settings. I mean, I
Yeah.
can Google it and figure it out. See if there is or isn't. If there is, how to do it. But I just figured that button would do it, and it doesn't look like it did.
Alright, bet. That's cool. Yeah, I'll be able to. I mean, like I said, I'm going to go back and watch it anyway, so I'll be able to watch it, pause it, put the timestamp, watch it, and just keep that cycle repeating. So I still get to listen to it, knock out two birds with one stone.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So before we started recording, we were just kind of talking about just living free and not focusing on perceived problems or even real problems. Like sometimes we, I guess, we diminish problems to try to be strong or to cope or not deal with the bullshit of life. But we're just talking about how um, just all the time find instances where you can just breathe and not focus on that heavy stuff and just find joy in the everyday.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. That can be a slippery slope. because I was mentioning and what you agreed with and also talked about was stress. Stop stressing and worrying yourself about things that you can't change, because what's the point of it if you can't change it? There's no way you can change it, no way. But you're stressing, that's not doing any good, so stop stressing about it. But it can be a slippery slope, because then you can just try to mask the problem and forget it's there. And one of my favorite quotes is, if you don't deal with your trauma's going to deal with you.
Hey, that's real.
Hell yeah, because you can put, let's just say, I'm gonna go with, I'm sorry if this not offends but triggers anyone. Let's say I got raped for 3 years of my life, and then after that happened, I just put that trauma off aside and didn't deal with it. It may be 45 years till it creeps back up, but eventually it's gonna rear its ugly ass neck and it's gonna bite you in the ass. And then that trauma that you should have dealt with a long time ago, rather it's therapy, whatever it is, it's gonna be 10 times as worse 45 years later.
I I like how you understate shit. Wait,
What you mean?
you're just like, I'm sorry if this triggers anyone. I had no idea what you're about to say. That's like the equivalent of like saying, "Hey, spoiler alert," and then actually playing the movie and not even talking about it. So in the description of this video, like put like sexual like trigger warning or something like that.
Right, right.
So
Yeah, even after I said it and before I went on to say what I was going to say, I was trying to think of another analogy, and I'm like, I don't know why this is the first one that popped in my head, but yeah, I'll put that in the description, that because that can trigger someone. That's 100% not my intentions. That was just the first thing that popped in my head, and basically saying, if you don't deal with your trauma, it is going to deal with you eventually.
oh yeah, most definitely. I mean that's why I find myself in therapy today and doing like online counseling. Um,
I need to do that shit, man.
Dude, it's really good, man. I've been doing it since beginning of July. So I did July, August. We're halfway through September, and I think I'm going to talk to my counselor on Monday or Wednesday about just going through October. Because through this service, it's a lot more affordable than it would be if I was going to somebody in person. But it's still like $250, $260 a month, so it's not free. It's not cheap.
Yeah,
But,
man, that's some two. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just cut you off. Keep going.
oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say like, by the time I finish October, I'm like 4 months in, 5 months in. So I think I'll probably take like a 6 month break because I have other things I need to do financially that $250 a month would be beneficial towards. But therapy is such a good thing. Not even just to deal with trauma, but just to have somebody that you can talk to about absolutely anything. Because we're all guarded to everybody that we know to a certain degree.
100%.
And with a therapist, there's no strings attached, and you're paying them to listen to all your baggage. So you can talk to them in a way that you won't talk to your brother, your sister, your parents, your spouse, your partner, your coworkers, like, because there's always the fear of some sort of rejection if you share something too heavy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody should be in therapy, even if you've been through a little, you've been through a lot, or your life is fucking unicorns and rainbows. Like, therapy is great. So even when I cut it off in October, I plan on like just not doing it for maybe 6 months and maybe picking it up next year for 3 or 4 months. And maybe that might be the pattern and the rhythm for like maybe the rest of my life. I love it.
Yeah. To speak on the fact of we're all guarded, with people that's in our lives. Podcast I suggest you watch and just came out today was actually Mike Tyson and Steve-O. And
Okay.
it's, in my opinion, I've watched every Steve-O interview on his podcast, but my personal opinion was his best one. He still talked about himself, but he let Mike do a lot of talking. He asked Mike a lot of questions, and he only talked about himself when I guess it was relevant or he needed to. But Mike talked about the toad, and he said it's an ego death. But imagine all of your deepest secrets, all of your deepest desires, your needs, your wants, the things you've done, everything you've done in your life is exposed to everyone. Everyone knows those. That's what doing the toad is like. And that just gave me chills because I'm like, bruh, I don't want to be telling, like, I don't want to have that feeling of everything I've ever done, everyone knows. And I'm just sitting there naked and they're just looking at me. And are they judging me? Do I care if they're judging me? Like, whew, man, that's heavy.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like the final judgment experience, kind of like in the Bible, how God separates the sheep and the goats and exposes good deeds and bad.
You know what book that's in?
I don't.
Is it a New Testament?
It's definitely New Testament. Most
Damn,
likely,
I read the New Testament. I don't remember that. That sounds
uh,
interesting.
yeah, most likely Revelation, but I'm
That's what I
not
was
sure.
thinking. Dude, I want to read Revelation.
I have a computer right here. I'm gonna stop thinking and just research it.
Yeah,
So
I
talk,
want
I'm
to.
gonna Google it. Sorry.
I want to. Even if you ain't listening all the way, because I know it's hard to listen and research at the same time. But
Man, I can multitask like a motherfucker.
okay. I'm gonna read No, actually, you can't, bro. Don't bullshit. I know you don't tell that lie to me, but no, I'm gonna read Revelations again Revelation again because that shit's so deep, bro. That shit's so deep. Like, it's so much to take in. I feel like I miss so much. I feel like I'd be watching Scarface 10 times in a row. I'm gonna learn something new every time I watch it.
Yeah, so I was wrong. It's actually no, unless it's in several different books, but it's in Matthew 25. The verses are 31 through 46.
Well, you weren't all the way wrong because you said it's definitely the New Testament, but you think it might be Revelation.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I was vague enough that I wasn't
yeah,
all the way off.
You said it might be, or you think it might be. Okay, Matthew what?
Matthew 25 verses 31 through 46.
I'm gonna write that down. Bet. Something else. This is when I cut you off. Two things. One, the reason I haven't done therapy, reason number one, is because money. Do I really want to pay someone that I don't know $60 a month to listen to my problems? Two, I look at doctors, therapists, and preachers in the same light, and I'm sure you could put other people there, but some doctors want to become doctors because they want to be a great doctor. Some preachers want to become preachers because they want to try to lead people to Christ. Some therapists want to become therapists so they can help people through their issues and maybe guide them through it. But then you have the doctor that just does it for money. You have the preacher that just does it for money. You have the therapist that just does it for money. And since I already have that in my head, I'm wary of some doctors. I'm like, bruh, I don't, your energy, I don't feel right. Like, are you really trying to help my loved one or trying to help me, or are you just trying to get to that check? Preachers, oh my God, I judge the fuck out of them. Like, I can tell your intentions, bruh. You can't, your dick gets hard when you mention the offering plate.
Why are you in a brand new Jag and your people driving beaters?
Exactly. And then therapists, that shit scares me too. But I need to stop being a little bitch and do it because sometimes I think people don't know how to deal with trauma. And I feel like I'm one of those people where I don't know how to deal with certain shit. Or I think I'm dealing with it, and I don't know if I'm dealing with it. So I need someone to tell me, yeah, I think you're hiding that shit in, man. That shit's eating you alive. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm fucking doing great. I need someone to tell me that shit.
Here's the thing, though. There's probably multiple apps out there, but mine is called BetterHelp. And they have a national database of like 10,000 therapists, and some of them are licensed by state, and some of them are licensed by like entire nation. So in Georgia, I mean, you might have a few hundred or maybe a couple thousand different therapists. So uh, pre-internet, you're limited to your geographical location, so you only have so many different places you can go. You get whatever you get. It's good, bad, indifferent. But with this, if you don't connect to the person that you're working with, or you feel like their intentions aren't pure, you can always try somebody else, and you can do that indefinitely. It's not like you have to sign up for the app, be stuck and beholden to a particular person. Like you can say, "Hey, this person's not right for me." And you can also leave feedback. So if it's, "Hey, it's just not a good match," that's one form of feedback. But if you're like, I don't think this person's doing it with good intentions, or I didn't feel like I got the service I deserve.
I think you're on the wrong side of the mic.
Oh, is it quiet?
Okay, yeah, there you go.
All right.
It wasn't super quiet, but yeah, it's a little quiet.
Yeah, I wasn't close enough to it, I guess. But yeah, you have some variability of pick where you don't have to just be stuck with one person.
So when I signed up for my Japanese lesson, there's all these Japanese teachers, and they gave a minute 30 introduction of their English speaking skills and their Japanese speaking skills. So you pick the one that suits best for you. Is it like, do you just randomly get picked a person in this app, or can you like look at their credentials and reviews and shit?
You can look at credentials. So you can look at credentials. You can look at reviews. They also write their own bio. And then there's before you even get assigned somebody, you can choose so many different things, like whether you want somebody religious, non-religious, of a certain religion, if you want them to be atheist, if you want them to be male, female, if you're looking for sex therapy, family therapy, individual therapy. Like there's so many different categories that you can choose, and it runs, I guess, through the database to find a good fit. And like me, I can't remember exactly who the first therapist was. I just read their basically their resume, their bio, and it felt like they were the right fit, so I chose somebody else. And the second one I picked, I've been with him since beginning of July, and it's fantastic. I can't wait till I see him every Wednesday at 1. I talk to him for about an hour.
Hell yeah! What do y'all do it through? Through the app or through Zoom or Skype?
Through the app. Yeah, the app has its own video conferencing, so we just do video. If like for some reason my phone was fucking up this past Wednesday, so instead of doing it that way, we just did a phone call and just put it on speakerphone and just talk for an hour.
Hell yeah!
Yep.
And it's 60 a month. I mean 60 a week.
65. So they bill it monthly. So each month it's $260.
Oh hell no! Y'all gonna have to bill me weekly. I can't. that big bill just looks ugly. That's a car payment. 60
like
a week.
It's not cheap, but I mean, sometimes when you go to a facility, you might pay 100, 150 per visit. So you can pay 150 in a visit versus 260 at one pop is not easy, but.
Bro, that's the thing, man. Like, why does it have to be so expensive for me to get help? Like, or if my friend has like a small I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but she has Asperger's, and she's trying all these different medications, and one time she had to wait like a month and a half before she could see her doctor, and her medication that she was on, Zoloft or whatever, wasn't working, and she had to wait a whole month and a half. What if in that month and a half she committed suicide because y'all put her on a wait? Like, bruh, I'm telling you, man, mental health in America needs to be taken more seriously.
Health in America sucks.
Not even health, mental health. Like, health, yeah, but mental health, bruh, like, people are killing people, and people are killing themselves because of mental health problems, because people like me, I don't deal with mental health that, like on a major scale. Like, it doesn't plague my mind, and I'm blessed, and I try my best to remember to thank God for that. But people like me are like, fuck that, bruh. I ain't paying $240 a month. Hell no. That is a car payment. Why have I never owned a new car since I've been able to drive for 12 years? Because of a car payment. I buy used cars. I would rather have to go get it fixed than to pay a car payment for 3 years. Like, you want me to pay a car payment just so I can talk to you? That's crazy. It's sad. It is fucking sad. God.
Yeah, I mean, is the state of it is it's kind of crazy. I see it two ways. It's too expensive in so many cases, and we pay for this health insurance every month for what? Like I should be able to use my health insurance for it and pay either a small copay or get the shit for free.
Right.
So I mean, we need a reform in mental health. Not get political, and I don't know all ins and outs and logistically, but it's fucked up that I pay a health insurance premium every single month. I hardly ever use it, and it doesn't pay for the shit that people actually need. But on the second, on the other side though, when I first signed up for it, I was a little bit scared about the financial aspect of it because I'm like, I want to prioritize my mental health, but can I actually afford this shit? And I'll just let you know this. I guess you're on your desktop, your top right here. When you move things around, it
I know
triggers the mic.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about turning the mic off for a second. I was setting it up so I could. I was moving my mic is what I was doing, but
Gotcha.
I was gonna put it on the. Oh shit, my shit just died. All right, I'm gonna turn the mic off real quick.
All right, yeah.
I'll listen to you.
Your droid cam also died. You're frozen.
No, that's why I said it died. Droid count died.
But
yeah, you gonna talk. It might be a little loud. You might hear a pop. Tell me if that's annoying.
all right, yeah. So your mic's unplugged. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you. Keep talking.
Go ahead and unplug it.
Wait, what am I unplugging?
Oh, you're done.
No, I'm gonna turn my mic off. I can't talk, but I can listen to you. So you keep talking.
All right, well, go ahead and do the thing that's gonna pop. All right, cool. But no, I was saying it's fucked up that we pay for these health insurance premiums, and we don't get the care that we actually need, be that mental health or physical health. But also, it comes down to I think priority. Because for me, like with the 260 that I have to spend on it, when I first thought about it, it's like, man, do I really have almost $300 a month to throw towards this thing that's new to my budget? And I haven't missed a dollar. That 260, it would have been spent anyways on something else, whether it would have been Taco Bell $5 at a time, or alcohol, or going out, whatever it may have been. Like that 260 would have been spent. So I think sometimes it's worth a priority adjustment and a sacrifice to say, hey, I'm spending this money anyways. I can cut back on Netflix. I can cut back on internet. I can cut back on something, and you can find, even if it's only for 1 month or one visit, and you just get enough tools that you can work on it yourself and do the self work. You can find the money in most cases if you look for it. And I understand there's people that can't. There's people that are wondering where the next meal is coming from. But for the majority of us, we can find the money somewhere if we really look for it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Where I'm not gonna say majority because I don't know what the majority is, but you're probably right. But or you could be really wrong. I don't know. But people like you and me, I'm saying I don't want to do that. I don't want to make a sacrifice for my mental health, and that's my own fault. But like we talked to T-Dub, last week, think about people that live in the hood. Think about how much traumatic shit they go through. And even with black people, it's starting to be different now, especially with music coming out, where black people are actually talking about emotions and shit. But in most black households, you don't talk about emotions. That shit doesn't get brought up. Like, bruh, you're a grown ass man. What you crying about? Bruh, he's 4 years old. I saw that in a barber shop. I saw a man tell a man that he is a grown ass man, stop crying in public. And the kid was about 4 or 5 years old. So we, in black households, a lot of black households, not all of them, feelings don't really get expressed. And what if it's starting to become more of a normal now, but people in the hood, they see so much shit, bruh. They see their best friend die. They see, this, that, this. Their mom is bringing in different men, and some of those men are assholes. They've never met their dad before. And they can't afford therapy. So even if they wanted to, they can't even afford it, bruh.
Yeah, they're fucked.
That's what I don't like. Fuck people like me that's just
Yep.
bitching and complaining and saying, dude, that's too expensive, man. But I have, Amazon Prime, I have
Yep.
Audible, I have all this shit that I could cut down if I wanted to. Fuck people like me. Think about the people that are really out here and maybe want therapy, but they can't because there's no way in hell they're going to be able to afford it.
Yep. And our social systems for this country, because as a whole, we're so fucking scared of the idea of socialism. When we do have programs, it's just bullshit ass stuff that doesn't really help people. One thing I liked about the movie Joker, did you see Joker? The one with Joaquin Phoenix?
Now I heard it was really good though.
Oh, man. Well, I guess we can't discuss it. But it was very interesting the way they portrayed the Joker. And I know some people were really upset because they said it was glorifying violence. I didn't see it that way. I mean, we have movies that are much more violent, and I don't think the Joker was a glorification of it. But what I think it was a true depiction of how mental health in this country is really bad, and like what drove him over the top was that he was going to see a therapist, and was through some kind of a government set up system, but they cut funding to it, and he no longer had access to his medication, no longer had access to his therapy, so he just went fucking crazy because he had so much baggage that he couldn't deal with on his own. And although it was a movie that's setting up the villain for a superhero movie, I think it has some real truth in it. I think they kind of do that in Hollywood a lot and hide like nuggets of real life within these fantasy movies. And if I'm sure we do have social systems to be able to help people that have mental health problems where it's subsidized, so it's greatly reduced in cost, or maybe it's free. You have therapists who are very caring, so if they have extra time, they do pro bono work at certain clinics, stuff like that. That does happen. So in those instances, I'm sure it's really good care. But it's got, and I don't know the medical side, but I can kind of relate it to like the like public defender side.
Bro, that's what I was thinking
Yeah,
of. I'm
like
like, man, what if you get some box fucking therapists that don't really care and they
yeah,
just get another fucking paper on their desk and like, all right, what's your problems? All right. And
yep,
because they ain't getting paid.
overworked, underpaid.
Yeah.
Like what else was I gonna say? Public defender. Something else came to my mind, but as quickly as it came, it left. I hate that sometimes. It's probably just because it's late on a work night. I'm not used to doing this on this day. But yeah, man, Chobi was awesome. I'm still like blown away by that.
No, man, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful conversation. I really appreciated his energy. Like I said, and I gotta thank you. I've been meaning to do this. I keep meaning to do this, and I keep forgetting. I gotta thank you. It was I think 2 weeks ago, and I was so low, bruh, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I still don't know what it was. But it was a mediocre day. But that night, dude, it sucked. And you called me, and I don't remember why you called me or what we talked about, but I think we were testing out Zoom or something, and I didn't even want to answer. But I was like, nah, we gotta test out Zoom, gotta do it for the podcast. And we talked for like an hour or so, and bro, my spirits were raised like super fucking high. And I thought by the end of the conversation, when I first answered, I was gonna be like, I'm sorry, Bobby, I'm just out of it, man. I don't know what's going on. I just don't feel right. But no, I gotta thank you for that because you weren't trying to help. You didn't know I was down, but just our conversation, your energy boosted mine up.
Oh well, I appreciate that, man. Love you, bro.
Hell
And,
yeah,
and
man. Chuck, huh?
I was gonna say, let me ask you this because you talk about energy a lot. Like I use energy sparingly. It's not a word I use often. You say energy a lot. What do you mean when you talk about energy?
Man, it's honestly so hard to explain, but just someone's vibe, bro. Like I'm not gonna mention any names, but it's like I've had energy vampires in my life that literally I was hanging out with someone every day, right? And it's when I started becoming an introvert. And I remember I was like, I need to take a me day. And I'm like, why you need to take a me day? And I was like, I just need to take a me day. I don't know. I just feel off. And dude, I had so much energy, like just physical and mental energy. I could think by myself. I wanted to get out and do stuff. And we were doing stuff, like going to clubs or whatever we were doing at those times, but I just felt energized, like I wanted to get out and do something and get something. I don't know, man. I could just feel it on my insides, and that's when I started to beware of energy vampires. That when you hang out with someone, if you leave their presence and you feel drained, ask yourself why you feel drained. Do you feel drained because you just did a 10-mile hike? Or does your mind literally feel drained because you gave them so much energy, but they didn't put any back in you? It's like, wait a minute. I was always helping you with your problems. But every time I would mention a problem, which was very rarely, you would say two words, that sucks. And then we would go on with the conversation because I feel like a burden. So I'm giving you all this energy and you're not feeding it back into me. So just shit like that, man. And like I said, I was a little off today. It was a rough day today because I got real drunk last night, woke up late for work. It was raining the whole day. I went to Walmart so I could make dinner tonight, which I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna do it tomorrow night. But I forgot some of the shit, and I'm just like, bruh, this is not going the way it's supposed to. But I'm excited to talk to Chobi tonight, and I was off. My energy was low because I kept dwelling on shit that didn't really matter. Like, yeah, I woke up late for work. Who gives a fuck, bro? Yeah, it was raining. Okay, yeah, man, the fucking Lake Lanier needs water. And all this shit that I shouldn't be dwelling on, but shit just kept piling up. And then Chobi's energy, his smile, his laughter, his the way he articulated things, the way he spoke about things, his joy of getting to play for Victor Wooten, all of that shit. I'm like, bruh, all right, now I feel like a little kid again, man. I was feeling fucked up today, man. Thanks for putting that energy in me.
Yeah, I was looking forward to talking to him. I have fun naming the Zoom rooms just to kind of invite them in. Like with Remy, it was the fabulous Remy Ferdinand. For King T Dub, it was the mighty King T Dub, and for Chobi, it was charismatic Chobi, and he's very charismatic, and it's not always just high energy, as in whoop de whoop, really high electric energy, but just even when he talks soft and when he talks slow and he's being introspective, he still has a charisma about him. That's and I appreciate that. This was probably one of the interviews I was looking forward to the most in a way. Not that I don't look forward to any others, but I don't know. It felt different. Getting ready for it tonight. Like when I set up the laptop and the mic and everything. It's just I'm really excited to talk to Chobi. And again, not to diminish the ones that came before, the ones that will come after, because I fucking love talking to all these people. We've had a couple of people on more than once. We've already talked about getting a couple others on again. But I don't know, just the charisma that he has that I saw in his videos is just this one's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be unique, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I feel that. I was excited for it too, because of those reasons. And he what was I about to say? It just left my mind too, but I don't know, he's an introspective thinker, and I like that too. Same with T Dub. We don't know what to expect with people that we don't know. We might follow them and might see, oh, okay, we kind of get a gist of who they are. But once we're face to face, we've never met these people. So how are they going to be? And, T Dub and Chobi, lived up way past my expectations. I was like, oh, okay. This is where this conversation is going. Hell yeah. And you let it there. Chobi, T-Dub, you let it there. I just asked a damn question or made a statement.
Yeah, for me, because I've heard you say that before, My very first interview was Hannah Ruth of Wild Hum, and I came to it with a lot of expectations. Like, I expect the conversation to go here. I
Right.
expect to be able to narrate it to go in here. I expect her to have these types of answers. And what that very first one taught me was don't have expectations. Just
Yeah.
observe.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done ever since. Even having her on again, everybody we've had, Lex, fucking Trista LaDawn,
What's the band from
the UK, man.
oh my god. Sorry. Brain fart.
It's Emma and John Kitchen, Donna Chowdhury. Like, I know who they are. Emma and the Fragments. Emma and
Oh
the
my god.
Fragments.
I
Yeah.
follow them on my Instagram and
Yeah,
I
and they're,
couldn't
they're
think.
recording again, so I want to get them back on after their album drops or
Yeah.
their songs drop. I'm not sure what the project is. I haven't messaged them, but I've enjoyed having everybody on. And if I haven't mentioned you, I apologize. But
You mentioned
um,
everyone.
I think that's pretty much everyone. Lex,
Next
I don't know.
room. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I just come to it with zero expectations and just observe.
Yeah.
I find
Yeah,
that more. I find that more interesting than having expectations and wondering if they get met.
exactly. And I I always write. I have 3 pages of questions that I have for 4 pages that I have for Chobi, and I probably asked 1 page worth, and I always do that just in case like the conversation is stale or some shit. I have shit to ask, but conversations have never been stale so far. We're gonna run into and we're gonna run into that person that answers with 2 sentences, and you gotta move to the next question. But
Yeah, man, you know
no,
what I'm saying. It's like, no, I don't. You didn't say shit.
exactly, exactly. So, but a lot of times I don't ask the questions because I ask one question that I have written down and they say something and I'm like, ooh, I want to know about that, or I want to know what you think on that. Like, you mentioned it, let's talk more about it. But one more thing on energy is Devin. I told him, I said, bruh, sometimes if I don't answer the phone,
Who is Devin?
our cousin, I was like, bruh, you got something to say? I thought you came to the mic to say something. I
All
was
right,
like,
so this shit's gonna be real funny.
what?
So you know how on Zoom, the people that see the recording can only see me when I talk.
Right. Oh.
I came to the mic. I'm like, no, I'm gonna let him finish because I don't want to cut him off. But I forgot that you could see me.
Right. No,
Yeah, so
man.
go ahead. No, the only reason I asked who's Devin because unless they're friends, like really close friends or family, they're not gonna know who Devin is.
Yeah, our cousin. I told him like, bruh, sometimes I'll answer the phone because your energy's too high, and he was like, what? And he kind of got offended by it. And I was like, no, because your energy's so high that it puts me on like high alert, and my energy has to be high. So if you call and my energy is really low, I'm not gonna answer because I won't be able to give you the conversation that you deserve. Like, I'm just gonna be like, all right, hell yeah, damn man, that's crazy. Instead of being like, whoa, bruh, like, fuck yeah, man, I can't believe that shit. Here's how I think about it. That shit actually happened to me, man. When's the last time that shit happened to you? I'm not gonna be able to give you that conversation, so I'm not gonna. I would rather not answer. But he's a really high energy person.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes people get offended when I don't answer their phone, but I don't know whether it's energy or not. One thing I learned by moving away is I thought I was an extrovert, but I realized I'm an extroverted introvert. I love people. I love conversation. I like exchanging ideas, and I like communicating. I like parties. But damn, sometimes I just want to like turn off my phone and not talk to anybody.
You want to know what I call myself, and it's not only my own idea, but you might be able to call yourself too. I got it from Kendrick Lamar's song. He says he's an antisocial extrovert. I say that I'm a social introvert. Because when I tell people that don't really know me I'm an introvert, they're like, Nate, you talk to everyone. Everyone likes you. I'm like, because I know how to talk to people and I like people too, but I would rather be by myself. And like, dude, I never saw, like, people I work with, I never saw you as an introvert. That's crazy. No, I am.
Yeah, I was telling a friend that visited because she was asking about you. She's like, "Hey, how's your brother doing?" And she always asks about you. She's never met you and may never meet you. She's from Georgia, one of Wendy's good friends. But
She cute. I just had, you know, I'm fucking with you, man.
but she's asking if you were like me. I'm like, no, I mean, we have our similarities, no doubt, but we're a lot different. I was like, I'm really big. He's pretty fucking small, which you're probably closer to average size than small. But
I don't know. I'm pretty
like,
under average.
I was
A little
like,
short.
then with me being more extroverted, he's definitely not. He's more introvert. She's like, really? Like, he's quiet? I'm like, it's not that he's quiet. I was like, he's just a good conversationalist, and he knows how to work a conversation where he'll ask enough questions at the right way at the right time that you'll keep talking, and you'll never realize that he hasn't said shit. But you've been talking the whole time. I was like, yeah, but he doesn't really talk a lot. He doesn't give a whole lot unless he really trusts you.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of laughing too. And Wendy's like, yeah, for about probably first 2 or 3 years that Bobby and I were dating, my entire conversation would be like, hey, Nate, how's it going? Good. Wendy, how about you? Good. That's what's up.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll be around him the entire day for the holidays, and that would be our entire conversation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I fucks with Wendy. And speaking of trust, like I don't trust anyone, to be honest. I don't trust you, Big Devin. Like, I just don't trust people because as soon as you trust people, if they do something, then you're disappointed. And disappointment something I don't think I've ever felt before, and I don't want to feel. I think I felt it, a couple of times when I trusted people, but when I stopped trusting people, it's like if you do something, it's like, bro, you're a human. Like, I don't like that you did it. I might be mad. I might be upset. I might be sad, but I'm not disappointed because that means I put trust in you. But like how it was with mom and like, stepdad, and then a new guy coming in, I was like, nah, I don't trust him. But he ended up being one of the best people I've ever met. And
yep, Kevin's the motherfucking man.
Hell yeah. And same with Wendy. I'm like, I was telling you, bruh, what are you doing, man? What are you just went through this shit. You're gonna do it again? And you're like, nah, I think so, man. Like, she's a really good person. I'm like, I don't trust her. I don't trust her, but
because
I fucks with Wendy.
I was divorced for 2 hours before she became my girlfriend.
Pretty much. Wait, for real, probably, right? Like, you got divorced.
I don't even think it was that long because I didn't go to the courthouse because I was like, fuck it. You pay for court, crazy. You go to court. I ain't wasting my time.
That
so I said,
crazy.
hey, when my divorce is finalized, send me a text. And we were hanging out, just having like a picnic at the lake. And I get my zzz, zzz, and I was like, all right, single man, yeah, come on, boy.
And
I didn't immediately ask her, but hey, I'm divorced. Like, you want to be my girlfriend? But no, it was later on that day. So
let me ask you this. Let's start with girlfriend. Does that question scare you? Because I remember, I'm going to go with Marissa, and then I'm going to go with a later girl that I'm not going to mention her name, but Marissa.
You don't have to mention names. Nobody knows who they are.
Huh?
I was about to say, you don't even have to mention names. Nobody knows who the fuck you're talking
exactly. I'm going to go with Marissa, so you know who that is. That was my first puppy love teenager. I remember I asked her over the phone. I said, hey, Marissa, will you be my girlfriend? And I know I choked on my words. And she goes, no, I said it so confidently. And she says, I'm sorry, Nathaniel, what did you say? And I said, will you be my girlfriend? She's like, hell yeah, I will be, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. And, future girlfriend, I was like, I remember leading up to, I was like, hey, will you be mine? Knowing 100% she was going to say yes. But man, my chest felt tight as fuck. I was nervous. I'm like, fuck. I don't want to do it, but the time is right. And I was like, will you be mine? And she's like, yeah. When you've ever asked that question, will you be mine, be my girlfriend, whatever you ask, do you get super nervous before?
I would say no.
Okay, let's go with the higher level, because this is a level that freaks me the fuck out.
Yes.
What about when you ask someone to marry you?
Yes.
Bro, I feel like
Yeah,
my hand's gonna be shaking so much I ain't even gonna be able to put the ring on the finger.
and like and it's one of those things too. Like if you're in a real relationship, like you discuss it. It's not like you're like, oh, I like her a lot. It's been
Exactly.
X number of months. Let me go buy a ring and just
Exactly.
swing for the fences.
Right. Right.
So I mean, it, I was I was definitely nervous asking Wendy, but what was more difficult was I'm of the traditional mindset that you should talk to her parents first.
Right.
Now I don't know why I feel that way, but I just feel it's a tradition that's respectful. So I think it's something that I wanted to do.
No, I feel
Um,
that way. With marriage, girlfriend,
yeah,
nah, fuck that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, with
fuck that.
marriage, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, asking her parents, I asked them individually, and both the mom and dad, like it was very. I was just not very confident.
Right.
Not that they didn't care for me; they definitely love me. Can't wait to see them for Thanksgiving, but it was just a nervous conversation. It's like I don't know. I just built it up in a way that was a nervous conversation, and they made it like super easy. They're like, "What are you nervous for, dude? Like, we love you. Our daughter loves you. Just yeah, we totally support it."
Right.
But then when I asked Wendy, I'll tell this story, and then we can start wrapping it up. It was
Bet.
very funny. I was working night shift at the time, also going to school during the day, and our time together was very thin. She was also going to school. She worked at least 2 jobs, maybe 3. So sometimes it might be a week and a half, 2 weeks before we see one another. And we had talked about where it was going, what the future held, and we both decided that marriage was in the future. So I went out and I bought a ring after some period of time. And I was like, I want to ask sometime soon. Like, I don't want to hold on to this thing and let it just burn a hole in my pocket. And I was just trying to find the right time to do it. I wanted to make it like romantic, blah, blah, blah. And just with our schedules, that wasn't going to work. I wasn't going to be able to orchestrate something and make it happen in like a very Prince Charming sort of way. So we were at her parents' house, and she was about to cook fudge. And I was like, hey, I got to tell you something. And she's like, what? I was like, I just need to have a conversation with you. She's like, no, I'm cooking this fudge right now. Like, just give me a little bit of time. I was like, no. I was like, I'm so tired. I was like, I've been up since yesterday. I have to work tonight. I'm about ready to lay down and call it a day and just have you wake me up at 10 so I can go to work. Work a night shift 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And so I was like, I need to have this conversation now because it's important. And she's like, but can it just wait till I'm done with this fudge? I was like, I would rather it not because it's important and I need to have this conversation now. Can I get your full attention? And she's like, Bobby, just tell me, just talk. And then I lower myself down to a knee in her parents' kitchen. And she looks at me and she's like, oh. I was like, yes. I have something really important to say to you and to ask you. So it was very like very simple. It wasn't romantic or anything like that. But I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to see her for another 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to
And
let
were
her
you
know that.
nervous while you're
Yeah.
having that conversation? Like, man, if you don't down this list and the fudge can wait for 5, you weren't nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous because we had talked about it so much before that. Actually, she actually initiated the conversation um, probably a few months before. So by that point, like we knew we were going to move forward. It was just making it public and official.
You know what I don't like? And
What don't you
honestly,
like, Nate?
some females might like it, but it's like how Chobi, how he was joking around when he was like, well, you put me on the spot, we're live recording, you just asked if we could play together, like I gotta say yes. I
Yeah.
feel the same thing about public proposals. Like, I always felt like the girl, either one, if she does say no, is gonna look like an asshole, and the dude's gonna be heartbroken in front of all these people. But I feel like a lot of girls get pressured into it, and being asked to be someone's wife and do this lifelong journey is a powerful situation in the first place. But now you're putting this other pressure, like it's like how you don't want God, I go to such weird places, but you don't want to ask someone a sexual question when y'all are having foreplay and shit because they're in the mind state where they're gonna be more apt to things. So it's the same thing. Like she's in this mind state, and she might get this high and this rush of, oh my god, I finally have my man asking me to marry me. Hell yeah, I'ma say yes. And then she might think about it later and it's like, should I have said yes? But in a public situation, it puts all of that pressure plus all of these eyes. Like, oh, I don't know, man. I saw this proposal like 2 weeks ago, and it was this whole ordeal. They blindfolded the girl, brought her through this place, and he he was there, and she took the blindfolds off, and was like, "What is going on?" And he was like, "Will you marry me?" And she put her hands over her mouth and was jumping up and down, and he was like, "Baby, you're taking too long to answer." And she's like, "Oh my god, yes, yes." But what if in those 10 seconds that she's speechless, she's like, "Fuck, I don't think we should be getting married." But damn it, now I have to say yes, so I don't look like a bitch. Like, I don't know. That was supposed to be a simple question of what do you think about public proposals? Because I don't like them.
I've never thought about them, but I do agree, because I think that's a very intimate conversation
Yeah,
in a relationship. So, um, I think it should be as private as possible.
I
And
agree.
you do something really nice, like I have we have a friend that did it at like Tallulah Gorge, and proposed to his wife there in like a very beautiful outdoor setting in North Georgia. I was actually on a solo hike before the podcast or before this recording. You were asking me if I ever hiked solo, and I actually did a lot. One of my hikes on Yona Mountain, met this couple going up, and they were single, and came back, and they were proposed. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And it was in a public area, but it was done very privately and intimate.
Right.
And then also, like I said, it should be a conversation before. Like when I asked Wendy, it wasn't a question of if we want to move forward towards engagement and marriage. It's a matter of when. It
Right.
wasn't a matter of, hey, I think we like one another, love one another enough. I think she wants to move forward. Let me ask a question and see what happens. No, we had already discussed it. Not that the discussion beforehand locked her into a decision that was coming later, but it wasn't a surprise to either one of us. It has already been discussed. We had already talked about not just once, but multiple times. So that always shocks me too. Like when it's a very hard no. Like the guy thinks because he spent all this money on this ring that the girl's gonna say yes. It's like, did you discuss it with her? Did you ask her if she wanted to move in that direction? Like,
You
where the
know,
fuck was the disconnect? Like,
Mama said no to Ed a couple times.
yeah, it's like a ring and a knee's not gonna entice a woman that doesn't want to marry you to marry you. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I think it's exactly what you said. It's a disconnect. It's miscommunication, and to go back to energy, like, or you read the room wrong. You thought, man, this girl is madly in love with me, and I'm madly in love with her. She wants to marry me. Like, no, bro, read the room. Like, and the best way to read the room in that situation is to talk to the people that's in the room.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with a little bit of a patriarchal entitlement too. Just, oh, I'm a man and I'm able to take care of her and I'm able to provide and I give her love also. So that's a icing on the cake. It's
Yep,
like, nah, bro. It's like 7 point something billion of us. Split that in half. It's fucking 3.5 billion men. Like, you ain't shit.
exactly.
So
But shit, man, I'm gonna let you go to sleep
yeah,
or
dude. I'm
wind
getting a
down,
little
do
bit.
whatever you
Getting a
want.
little bit tired. I took some kava lactones before the podcast. Just trying out some pain management things that are not pharmaceuticals. So I've been trying some CBD. I've been enjoying that, using the flower. I just got my kava in today. So if you haven't tried kava, it's a root from Polynesian countries. And traditionally it's ground into a powder and made into a tea. What I got were capsules because I didn't want to do that. I'm like, it's cool to do something traditional and make it ceremonial, but I didn't want to do all this shit with a tea, so I just got the capsules of the extract. And it feels great, man. Like, they call it nature's Xanax. The pain in my shoulders right now is very low. I am feeling drowsy from it, but not in a way that I'm losing cognition. I'm still able to talk to you and think. My energy, as you call it, energy, I'm quite low.
Right,
but,
right.
But not in a negative way. So if you're having pain management issues, sleep issues, anxiety issues, or you just want to be able to relax using, I guess it's definitely a drug, but not in the sense that it's pharmaceutical. Something more natural. It's from the earth. It's unadulterated. I'll try Kava out. I got mine from Kona Kava. No affiliation, no sponsorship. Not unless somebody from Kona Kava will watch this thing for an hour and they're like, fuck. I was just waiting for these boys to say that. I was waiting for them to talk about Kona Kava and they want to sponsor, man. Go for it. That'd be cool.
Y'all might think I'm bullshitting, but one day it may not be on YouTube, but if it is on YouTube, at the beginning of our video, it's going to say this video contains a paid promotion because y'all may not see it, but we're definitely going to move to the top. We ain't going to take Rogan's spot because that's shoot for the stars, aim for the moon, but yeah, that's up there.
I think it's shoot for the stars, and even if you miss, you'll land on the moon.
Okay, well, let's go there. But yeah, we'll shoot for Rogan, but I don't think we're gonna be able to not take him down, but share his spot anytime soon. But we are gonna be at the top. So if you do become a fan of this podcast, or let me say this, when you become a fan of this podcast, don't get mad when there's a paid promotion. We gotta take out 3 minutes of your time to do a paid promotion and say that we sold out. Bitch, we made it. Give it.
Just skip past that shit.
Yeah, give it. That's what I do. Yeah. Unless it's entertaining. There's only a couple that I'm like, damn, the way they're doing this is real entertaining.
But yeah, I wouldn't even say shooting for Rogan. I'm shooting for fucking the very best of off the beaten path. Like fuck anybody else. And not fucking man away as in show disrespect or don't matter, but. We can't achieve Rogan. We can't achieve Church of what's happening with now. We can't achieve Rich Roll or.
Wait, are you saying can't or can?
Can't.
Bitch, what are you talking about? What you mean we can't?
Because I don't even want to. I want to be the very best Bobby and Nate. I don't want to achieve JRE.
Okay, I agree with what you're saying. When you say achieve, I'm thinking of you're saying we can't get as many views as them.
No,
but
we can hit the metrics.
Right,
we can get the views, we can get the followership.
I agree.
I mean, because it's kind of like the 4-man mile. Nobody thought the 4-man mile was possible. They thought it was physiological impossibility. But then Roger Banner did it, and then fucking everybody started doing it.
Yeah.
Children run 4-man miles. So I'm not saying that we can't achieve metrics, but fuck the metrics. I want to be the very best interviewer I can be.
Yeah.
I want you to be the very best interviewer you can be. I want to be able to bring out the very best of every single guest that is invited to come on or request to come on.
Yeah, it's like I don't want people to be like, man, he reminds me of Rogan, or man, Bobby reminds me of Diaz, or damn, Nate reminds me of Kreischer with the questionings. Like, nah, it's like being an artist. It's like I don't want to be the next Kevin Gates. I don't want to be the next Jimi Hendrix. I want to be the first Off the Beaten Path podcast.
And fuck you, all want to be just like Jimmy. Jimmy was amazing.
Bro, you already made it past his age. You can't be like him anymore.
Oh, good.
You missed your point.
Yeah, the 27 Club. Rest in peace.
That's like everyone wants to be like Scarface. But, bro, what happens to Scarface at the end? You want to be like Scarface because he went from a dishwasher to being a boss. But do you want to be like him? Do you want what comes with it? Where you're doing all this cocaine and saying, come on, come and get me. Say hello to my little friend. And then you die? Like, okay. Be like Scarface then. That's cool.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this kava is it makes me sweat.
Like sweaty, clammy palms or armpits or
my entire body.
Are you hot?
I'm hot.
Fuck that, bro. But you're a heater, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Like you're always hot.
Yeah, most often. Yeah.
But so now, like you're on the uncomfortable level of being hot.
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I
was just sitting here while you were talking. You were talking earlier about mind drifting and not always being present. I was
Yo,
just sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I need to go take a fucking shower because I'm so hot right now.
dude, that's how it was when I had to pee real bad, which I kind of do now, and I'm on another beer, so I'm gonna let you go. But I, I was listening to your story, and my mind was starting to drift of, bruh, I feel like the story is gonna take a little minute, and I really want to be in tune with it. But if I keep holding this pee any longer, that's all I'm gonna be able to think about. So I was like, bruh, hold your thought. I gotta go pee.
Well, cool, brother. You have a good night.
Here's my Illuminati symbol.
Oh shit, I don't want to be involved with them, man. That's blood in, blood out. They took out Robin Williams. I don't want to get fucked up.
Fuck, I forgot. I always forget that he's dead, bruh.
Yep.
Damn it, man. I went back and watched some of his comedy, dude. The way he could control the crowd is almost like Joey Diaz level, man.
I've actually never seen his stand up. I only know him from movies.
I watched a really, when I say shitty, I mean like shitty quality, and you could tell he didn't write any of it. You can tell that he just went up there and was working out shit. Dude, he had that crowd in the palm of his hands, bruh. Like they couldn't stop laughing, you know. And he's walking through the crowd and like grabbing hats off of people and doing different like impressions of like an old lady. And man, dude, he was so full of I want to go. We've talked about it before, but I want to go to more comedy shows, man, because that feeling of when you just can't stop laughing, like you just leave there, just holy shit.
Yeah, I've been to a couple, maybe more than a couple.
I've been to like
But
five. Randall and Shannon took me to my first one, and I
who
fell
are
in
they?
love. Randall, our uncle, and his girlfriend.
But yeah, when I saw Trevor Noah, man, dead. My stomach was hurting, and I'm not a very animated person. Like even on the podcast, I feel like I need to move a little bit more just to like, I don't know.
Bruh, I'm
But
sorry to cut
I'm
you
just
off real quick, but go go watch some of the T Dub interview. Every time I'm talking, I'm moving like fucking Stevie Wonder.
no Ray
Because,
Charles. I told Wendy, I said Nate's like fucking Ray Charles. His hair's just
bruh,
bobbing. He's like, hey, so Dub, like man, like what
it's
about this
because
thing? Tell me about that time you did this and that.
it's because I got this chair that you can rotate, and I was like, oh shit, I can't be rotating while I'm talking.
Just sitting here spinning around your microphone.
I'm like, yeah, man.
I was wondering. I was like, it's his thing. Like, shit, be natural. Do what you feel is
No, man,
best.
that was a little
But
bit of me just being, I don't know, just I move when I talk, and just being in a rotating chair, and I can't walk and talk. I guess that was my thing. But I cut you
yeah,
off. You say you're not a very animated person, but
yeah, I'm
Trevor
just
Noah.
very still. But man, like during Trevor Noah, I was sitting here like doing this, like fucking slapping my knee,
Yeah.
bent over, like doubled over, and my stomach was literally hurting because I don't think we're meant to laugh for more than 60 seconds, and I would laugh for 2-3 minutes straight. And it's like, I'm hurting. I'm in pain. Please
and
stop.
and that also goes to laughter is contagious. I've noticed I'll be watching or listening or watching a podcast, and they'll say something, and to them, I was watching Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson, he's very animated when he laughs, and he was dying laughing, and that made Steve-O and Steve-O's co-host start laughing. It wasn't that funny, but it made me start laughing. So you're in a room full of 100 people, and they're all laughing, and you're laughing at what the comedian's
Comedian.
saying. you you just get filled with laughter because not only is laughter contagious, what they said was funny. So man, yeah, I feel you 100% with the being animated and bending over and tapping your knee like that's a knee slapper. Like yeah, bruh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit's
I
powerful.
love live comedy. I'm ready for COVID to be over.
Yeah, and
So
one
they can
thing I
start
was
doing shows again.
exactly, and like I said, Atlanta, we're open up. I can go to a comedy
Y'all
club if I
didn't
want.
fucking close.
No, we didn't. We closed for
Nate,
a
like
little bit, like
the
2
door in my
weeks.
office right now. If I open it, that means I opened it. If I never closed it, I
Yeah,
can't open it. Y'all didn't fucking close. Y'all
I can
closed for
go.
like, I, I always tell people Georgia closed for 3 days longer than Florida because Florida didn't fucking close.
Pretty much, man. Yeah, I can go Six Flags if I want to. But what I was gonna say also about the Mike Tyson interview, it's only 41 minutes long, but you can tell he's still in his fighter's mindset, but he could have just been having a bad day before Rogan, you know. But he seemed much more relaxed, and laughter was coming out. You know, he did his thing where he almost cried, but he seemed much more relaxed with the Steve-O interview. I'd go watch this. It's not great, it's not the best, but I think it's the best that Steve-O's done, and it was nice to see Mike Tyson like, okay, he's not in 100% savage mode. He might just been having a bad day before Rogan.
All right, bro. Stay black. Don't be whack.
Love you.
Love you.
Peace.